Hello and welcome to the Morningscape podcast. I am Matt Moody, joined by DJ Mitchell. Let's just do the fucking intro.
You're saying they're looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.
DJ?
Hi.
You were not wrong on Tuesday. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I was right. I mean, I think my last text to you before everything broke exactly in my direction was, I'm already dead. It's time for bed. Good night. And that was at I don't know, 9:35. maybe it was not even 10 o'clock. And then the universe rewarded me with everything possibly good happening. So pretty cool. Pays to be
Indeed.
lucky.
I can confirm that was the text, and that's what makes this even more annoying than normal. When I had a decent night, but the Ducks didn't get me there on Maine, so that hurt, and then I lost a substantial amount of money on the late slate because of the end of Seattle Columbus. Basically, if Seattle wins, I shipped like a bunch of shit, but didn't happen. So here we are. I don't know. DJ's Twitter has the slip, and again, we've mentioned it often. But if you're interested in betting, go follow him. I like DFS, so I don't really talk about the betting stuff. But DJ puts a lot of time and energy into posting his bets, so go follow him. Go check out Dub Club and Tails or whatever the hell it's called, and that's where you can get that. But yes, DJ, massive shout out to you because that's a crazy hit.
I mean, the Lehkonen thing was kind of luck. He did not start the first power play on the first power play. He joined it very quickly. The second power play, he was out there, and I was like, well, I don't know what's going on. I think Val was clearly not 100% himself, and they just decided to take him out for the third anyways. And that third power play was his, and it just works. I mean, sometimes, you get kind of bailed out by happenstance. The other two, I think, were good spots, good way to look at things. But no, Doug's here. Perfect. Doug Levy's real, everyone. We stalked him every time. But yeah, I mean, the NFL Survivor contest that I'm still alive in, Doug, thank you for taking a peek at that. I mean, I mean, we're strategizing together, buddy. We're going to win this thing. I'm down to the final 565 for 500,000 to first. And at this rate, who's to say no? If everything can bounce in my direction one night, why not for a few more weeks?
Yes, and Doug, there's no time for shenanigans because we got to finish the show, got to eat dinner, we got to play video games, so we gotta get the show moving. But Mark, of course, with the main event last night, of course, Furia, just the GOAT CS squad. So
I don't know what that means, but yes,
you wouldn't.
Agreed.
You are not cool enough.
And as Riley's saying, he's here for the spoon-fed nuts. And what are we? Oh, sorry, Matt.
I'm trying to figure out. Did I get super close or something? I don't know. Whatever. Who cares?
But it's game time. I mean, it's time to just get right into things. We got to spoon feed nuts.
We have 10 games. The Rangers are already up 2-0. That's so funny. And
Cooley power
play. Yeah.
No, he did not.
So stupid.
Life.
It's DJ week. All right. Well, we have 10 games on the docket here. They varying levels of fun, I will say. A whole lot of drama. I can't get the rainbow sheet to show up. There we go. So let's pull that up as we overview the 10 games on Thursday. Have I said 10 games enough?
There are 10.
How's that? All right. We're good. Let's do it. So Anaheim, Detroit leads things off. Of course, that game looks like a donkey fest. Obviously, Anaheim doing Anaheim things. They didn't score against Colorado, but this, still a very high-paced game. Very clear, fun spot there. Washington, Florida, Dallas, Montreal, Boston, Ottawa, LA, Toronto, Edmonton, Columbus. Edmonton on a back-to-back. Columbus with all sorts of sicknesses hitting their locker room, so TBD on what to expect in that game. San Jose and Calgary, and I think this might be the worst hockey game of all time. Buffalo, Colorado, Buffalo on a back-to-back. I think Buffalo might be the largest underdog of the year in this spot, so we'll see. I'm not sure if that line's posted yet. Winnipeg
Uh,
at Seattle and Islanders at Vegas. So, DJ, any initial thoughts here?
Yeah, Buffalo might be the biggest underdog of the year. It is a minus 310 for the home Avalanche, plus 250 for the Sabres
Yeah.
on the road in a Bo Byram revenge game. I mean, are we going to forget about that? No. Yeah, God, this is an interesting slate. I mean, I would say that while I did do well in betting, my daily fantasy takes were I'd least not the best.
We'll get to
Yeah,
that at the end, DJ. We'll recap it at
my
the end.
lineup almost squeaked out min cash, and that just goes to
Yeah.
show you that I was a gutless coward who didn't play what they said they loved. Let's get to it at the end.
All right. Started things off though with a fun one. By the way, I did not have the requisite time to go through every team for every line, so we're going to be doing this on the fly as we often do. But apologies in advance there because I know that's annoying. Anaheim heading into Detroit. I'm not expecting any Anaheim changes. Kreider, Leo, Terry, Cutter, McTavish, Seneca. Um, Jacob Trouba continues to look like an actual elite fantasy defenseman. He obviously is getting the blocks and he's going to chuck from the blue line. They're creating offense with him out there, and Zellweger certainly helping that. But Trouba is shooting. And Trouba made an unbelievable play on the one goal they did score to Leo. Literally, like made a self pass off the boards behind the net, and then like a kind of turning backhand feed to hit Leo on the nose to score. Like just insane stuff from a guy who, like this time a year ago was like being run out of town for the Rangers. And now he's just like actually one of the better defensive plays on this entire DFS slate. So right away, that's sort of my first thought, 4,400 Jake Trouba. Second thought, they made Cutter cheaper for reasons that I'm unclear on. 6,500, just fantastic play, fantastic player. And Leo Carlson, him, Terry Kreider, you can of course stack them as well. That full line is 16.1K heading into Detroit. Not a matchup I'm afraid of. And Leo is simply the truth. He is incredible. He's just doing it night in and night out these days. So anything to add on Anaheim?
I don't think I could have said it any better myself. I mean, the Jacob Trouba situation is incredibly interesting to me. Like at first, I kind of felt like, nah, he's not going to keep getting away with it, but like he truly is double bonus upside every single night. He's getting the points to back it up. He has a power play 2 role, and the minutes are just not going anywhere. And when he's playing with, I would say, their best, I guess they defense.
Certainly their most fun. He's their
most fun. Yeah, their most fun.
Like,
right. Their most like offensively inclined defenseman. Like you might think like, well, that might mean the minutes or like the usage or the shot share or whatever. Like it's not happening that way. And Zellweger is only helping them break the puck out faster and keep the puck in the zone and move the puck to Trouba, who's just donkey chucking. Like it makes sense in any circumstance. I mean, I won't get it. I will not play the cash shell game again. I'm not going to repeat my bits, but like, there you go.
Yeah, well, we're more of a upside lead in GPP show, obviously, when you're hitting fucking 1,000-to-1 parlays. So
this is true. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot I hit that yesterday.
Yeah. One thing to keep an eye on. I don't know the status of Radko Gudas, but he's on IR. He can come off at any time. So that's the only way that like you could even conceive of like putting a dent into Jacob Trouba's role, just because now Trouba's getting the best of both worlds, where he's like first over the boards to kill a penalty, and he's getting that power play time, which they're not quite 50-50 split, but it's fairly close, 60-40ish split between power play 1, power play 2 there. And then of course, empty net, blah, blah, blah. Like that's going to go to Gudas when Gudas returns. So that's the one thing to keep an eye on. But until that happens, I'm happily paying 4,400 for Jacob Trouba. Detroit side, we got a lot of updates from practice today. So we have the lines. The Brinkett, Larkin, Raymond, Finney, Comfort, Kane, Casper, Danielson, Appleton, Soderblom, Rasmussen, Berggren. Did the D pair stay the same, DJ? Edvinsson, Sider, Chirot, Sandin, Pelika?
It was Edvinsson, Sider, Chirot, ASP,
cool. Okay.
Johansson, JBD.
All right, that's fine. I know.
But
so
power
let's
plays,
talk about 5-on-5 first.
yeah, a couple flips at power play, but we can get to it in a minute.
Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts on the 5-on-5 alignment here? Because I mean, this matchup is good. Like
It is
Anaheim
good.
is fun. They're good, but they're also very fun. They allow shots against. So, any interest in any of these 5-on-5 units as I update the power plays?
I mean, I am interested. I think that the general consensus is that Anaheim is just a buzzsaw, and I don't think that's true. I think they're pushing the tempo both ways. Even in games where they won, they scored 7 goals, but they gave up 4 the other way. And like, variance could break that other direction where John Gibson keeps or Cam Talbot plays an okay game, and John Gibson revenge narrative. Let's not get carried away and not mention it. Like Detroit, I like this game in general just has on both sides. I feel like quite a bit of volume, quite a bit of upside. Like Anaheim feeds it both ways. And DeBrincat is shooting a ton. Larkin is shooting a good bit. Like I think that top line is incredibly in play. It's not perfectly correlated on the power play, which is frustrating, but you can get away with that. And I do think that there's no reason to, assume that DeBrincat is not going to come over the boards if the opportunity arises that it makes sense. So I'm very interested in this top line. I don't think it's going to be giga chalk. The game is a what?
7.5? Like, we're
Yeah,
out of
that's
numbers to describe
6.5
Anaheim.
minus 108. Detroit's a minus 125 favorite. There's Colorado super duper uber chalk. There's Edmonton on a back-to-back, albeit, but the same exact situation, 6.5 minus 125, and people were always inclined to play them. There's other spots that are definitely going to eat away at what I think will be an owned Red Wings team, but I don't think it'll be, the Giga Chalk. And there's punts here. I mean, we haven't got over the power play yet, but top power play is Nate Danielson at 2,500. He's playing with Marco Casper, who is like a real hockey player, and Mason Appleton, who's, a guy that at least is like he's an NHL quality player. I'm not saying he's boosting things too much, but the power play was Finney net front. What?
Max Bolton has different units than
Ansar
Khan
Khan.
does. Okay, I will change it to Khan's because it looks like Boltman has them as like trading off roles. So one moment, please.
Yeah. But Raymond and Danielson on the flanks is a pretty good spot for a very highly touted Nate Danielson. I mean, I'm not going to say it's to the moon and back, but like this is a guy that was a first round pick, very early first round pick, has a ton of point upside. I don't think the shot numbers and minors were anything to go insane about, but his first game he had 4 shots on goal. There were plenty of attempts. 5 attempts from him. It's something to keep an eye on. I'm interested here in a minimum salary play against Anaheim, even if he only gets 17 minutes. Like he did, he only had 15 minutes like he had last game. Like that's enough here for the prospect playing with, like I said, formidable players.
Yeah. So if you look at last year in the AHL, he was perfectly fine. Nothing special. When you look at his last year as an overager in juniors, he doesn't profile as like a prolific fantasy guy whatsoever. And I know you were pretty much alluding to that. But 33% better than the average player in shots and 30% in primary points, which is fine. He was a good player. He's a number 9 pick, 42nd in Pronman's prospect ratings. But certainly a guy who I'm not out here just wanting to play as like a one-off. I would want to play him with, a Larkin Raymond type build. So just some context there on who that is.
We've talked about it before, but there is nothing wrong with playing 4 or 5 Red Wings tomorrow. I think that is completely in play. DeBrincat, Larkin, Raymond, Nate Danielson, almost the perfect fourth guy to throw in, because if they do score 2 power play goals, even if he gets 6.5, you're okay. They go for 6 goals and he gets 6.5. You're not at all dead. All he needs to do is pitch in a little bit to get it done. So I love that call.
Obviously, John Gibson revenge 2.0.
I did say that. I did say that. So this does feel like a reverse role situation where but
we will be scrambling here. So expect that in the future as I try to update everything as you're talking. But thankfully you like talking.
The 5th game of the night. We're going to go 2 seconds. Okay.
I had it. No, it's.
I mean, Dallas,
Wait,
Montreal
what?
is second, but I don't care. We could go to
I'm
Washington. We're all
staring
at
at it.
7. I'm
Anaheim,
in.
Detroit, Washington, Florida.
I'm looking. I'm in the slate, and it says Dallas, Montreal second. Are you on the?
Yeah,
Okay,
look.
we're looking at the same screen,
Hold on, let
and
me
mine.
refresh.
I don't care.
No,
It's
yeah,
just
no,
saying
it still has that. So
mine says Dallas,
weird.
Montreal second. So okay, we're gonna go to Washington, Florida because I'm not. You already set up in your order. It's a five
Okay.
and a half over under, minus 120 on that over, and a minus 135 for the Florida Panthers. As we talked about last time, like Washington had been kind of struggling, but it largely just been in the games where Charlie
Yep.
Lindgren started, they were giving up too many goals and they weren't really supporting enough to get Logan Thompson the win. Well, he said, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to stop 30 pucks against Carolina and make DJ's terrible daily fantasy lineup look relevant. Very, very, very brave of him. Didn't get the job done. But again, this is a lower total matchup with pieces that are just frankly not meeting their expected fantasy numbers at all. Ovi scored an empty netter, so kind of got there last slate.
We're
But
so
are
back.
you interested in attacking a Florida team that we've been interested in attacking, and how would you do it?
Yeah, I'm certainly interested. Washington, I think, has been playing really well. I know we mentioned on Tuesday, like, oh, well, or Tuesday's show that, like, yeah, they've lost, 6 of 7 or whatever, and I just wouldn't have noticed, as like someone who's dialed into like fantasy whatnot. But it makes sense when you see like Ovi's not scoring. Pretty much the only two guys who are reliable offensively are Carlson and Chikrin, and those are your defensemen, which certainly doesn't help. So yeah, Ovi getting on the board is huge. The empty netter aspect of it is still a little bit out in the open of like, oh, is he actually just kind of cooked, and like, is this 6,400 tag fair? But he's still getting the shot attempts. So I'm inclined to just keep buying on Ovi. I actually did sort of reconsider things, and rather than play Tom Wilson last night, I played Ovi as a one-off in my lineup. Obviously, I didn't win any money, but so like that's just sort of where my head's at, where it's just like you're looking for one-off pieces. Alex Ovechkin is the definition of a one-off piece. So Tom Wilson's price has fallen to 4,900. I actually think, did I see Ryan Leonard on the top power play last game though? I'm
Well,
almost
he got
certain I
he got
did.
the assist on the top power play, but I don't know if it was like he
It might have
wasn't
been like
up
a
there.
mid change. Yeah. Okay.
Well, what's funny is before the game, he wasn't projected on either power play unit. The game before, he didn't get any run on either unit. I
Okay.
mean, they've been struggling. Like things have been changing around. That the power play wasn't going to get done, and next thing I know, Leonard has an assist on a Chickering goal. And he certainly got. That he came in for Tom Wilson on that unit, which was frustrating because Tom Wilson point would have won me like another grand, but whatever. You know what, Ryan Leonard,
Yeah.
you do
Looks
you,
like
brother.
looks like a change of some sort because Tom Wilson even started that power play and it wasn't long into the
Yeah.
power play when they scored. So something weird must have happened there. So yeah, still projecting Ovi, Strom, Wilson, Carlson, Chikrin. And if you're building around Ovi, obviously you don't have to, like I just said, but Carlson and Chikrin are two top tier options. Chikrin, of course, has really taken off. I think after I said he was guaranteed to break 20 fantasy points like a week ago, I think he's done that three times now in the 4 games since. So he just continues to put up really good numbers. And
Yep.
yeah,
Back to back to
it's
back
play.
shot bonuses. I mean, you really can't complain.
Yeah.
I think Washington's in play, and I would not call you an idiot for just fully playing Washington too. Protoss, McMichael, Wilson. It's really cheap. They play so many minutes. It doesn't matter if they're winning or losing. That line's getting its time. I'm a fan of it at this
Yep.
price. I mean, you're talking real cheap.
12.8K, Ryan Leonard 3,200. The Washington's pretty cheap across the board. And even Logan Thompson 7,500 is probably going to be your most popular goalie of the night. The way that he was 20% against Carolina.
Was he really?
Florida's a
Oh my
bit different.
god.
Oh yeah, he was 20%.
I thought he'd be kind of played, but I didn't think it'd be as bad. Okay, go on.
Yeah, that's Carolina for you. But
I'm
Florida is a
such
very
a pumpkin.
similar team in the eyes of the field. So I'm not going to spend too much more time on that, though. You can look into that on your own time.
Yeah.
Florida side, my God, I'm literally sitting here. I remember watching them. They beat Vegas. Yeah, they beat Vegas. So, not expecting changes to their lineup as a result. Verhage, Rodriguez, Reinhart, Lucerine, and Lindell Marchand. Samoskevich, Bennett, Boqvist. Samoskevich was taken off the top power play for Carter Verhaeghe.
Yep.
Let's see. Is there any other changes from that game that I should be noting?
No. That looks all right to me.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean the top line. Well, I guess whatever way you want to look at the top line, there's there's two very obvious lines that make a lot of sense with a third piece that is, I mean, just in play. It feels like very different types of players that are in play. Like Evan Rodriguez feels like more of an upside play, and Luosterainen just has a solid floor to go along with a very cheap price and playing a big role. But do either of these lines entice you enough to actually click the buttons against Washington at home?
Yeah, certainly. I think Carter Verhaeghe being on the top power play would make the top line of interest. It's not hard to see 3,700 Rodriguez just getting there. He's been fine. And when that full line is 15.4K and you're getting both Verhaeghe, Reinhart, who, Reinhart's just been awesome all year. He's almost in the OV camp of just like the shots are there. The production's just not quite there. And I think Reinhart he doesn't have Barkov next to him, but I think Verhaeghe, Erod, even Seth Jones has looked pretty decent to my eye. I don't think there's like some fundamental problem here, unless you just really respect this Washington team, which I certainly do. I'm not sure though that it's to the point of like I can't play these guys against them. So in this game, I prefer Washington, but I could certainly see a path to the top line. Otherwise, like this third line, if you need a cheap line, 10K for Samoskevich, Bennett, Boqvist. It's really hard to say you absolutely cannot do that when Boqvist is even getting 14, 15 minutes a night for the minimum. So like, yeah, there's McKinnon coming later. There's Eichel in a really good spot. And
they just don't really play the fourth line, and that makes perfect sense. So like is the third line in play? No, but at some point Sam Bennett is he's going to break a slate. Like it's going to happen. Does he need the top power play? It would help, but at some point.
Yeah. So, yeah, a really cheap crapper line if you need it. Dallas and Montreal. Okay, what are your thoughts on the Dallas-Ottawa game from last night? Because I watched a solid chunk of it, and I was kind of shocked at the way Dallas just turned it on late. We haven't really seen that from them. I know you were kind of on team like Montreal's a bit of a fraud, and what do you know? LA went in and Quentin Byfield, lit up the scoreboard against them. So, what are your thoughts on Dallas here in this spot?
I mean, yeah, I'm interested. They like. I think the thing that I was, kind of getting stuck on was I was like, Dallas team on paper doesn't look that good. Now, if you're looking at the screen, you're going to see a very clear delineation of colors. If you're not looking at the screen, you will not see that. You will not see that, but it is bright blue for all of the guys that are good and just the brickest of brick reds for all the guys that are bad. And that's just the top six and the bottom six. And guess what? Dallas doesn't play the bottom six when they're losing very much. I mean, they're of course going to get some level of run because that's hockey, but not much. It's going to be very concentrated, quick on, quick off. Let's get Rupe, Rantanen, Wyatt, and Robertson back out there. I mean, I'd even throw Steele and Sagan as like not completely the wrong picks, like Steele at 2,900. Like, even though I don't really believe in him as a fantasy player, if you're playing with Wyatt and Rantanen and getting 15 to 18 minutes of ice time, whatever. I mean, you might luck into a point. You might score by accident. Who's to say? Like, I do think that there's just something to like maybe take a step back and say like what is actually driving some of these numbers, and that is just how much that the bottom six can't even tread water right now. In Dallas is just dragging down the totality of the team, but like the top is still, really good.
Yeah, and noted on the Sam Steele thing, obviously their top power play has been prolific, and you can just do that. But if you want to play this top line, here's some evidence in favor of Sam Steele. Matt Duchene went down on 10-18. Starting on the 21st, here is Sam Steele's time on ice: 19, 15, 19, 18, 19, 21, 18, 24, 20, 19, 19, 18. Some of that obviously were for Hintz also out of the lineup, but like Steele's role is not the same as some other guys on the top line who get 12 minutes a night. He's going to be out there. yes, it's unlikely to hit, but he certainly has a ceiling here. So yes, you're looking at a 1.5, 3 point as his median, fantasy wise. But you also are looking at 20 in his range of outcomes for sure. Whether that's 3 assists or a goal and an assist and a couple shots, or a shorthanded breakaway type thing. Like he's a good player. So I certainly
And like
second that if you're really
what is
seeing the field
his
ignore him.
ownership what is his ownership going
Yeah,
to be compared to Nate
nothing.
Danielson? It's going to be nothing no matter what, but it's like
Yeah.
everybody's going to be looking at the shiny new toy and this young prospect who's going to see 15 minutes of ice time when Sam Steele has been just doing exactly what you would hope a player in his role could do. So yeah, and like they trust him defensively. Like they've always trusted him defensively. He'll get the run, he'll get the minutes if they're up, if they're down. And I don't think Montreal is a bad team, but I don't think they're a great team. And I think that they're getting a little bit overblown by having very good goaltending bail them out from times. And when it didn't break their way with Dobish last time, the winning Slate team, I believe, was the Devils. And like
Yeah.
we have another team with a really high concentration of top line minutes in Dallas. I think they could get it done.
Yes. Yeah, and the only thing I was just gonna add was obviously the attempts and the expected goals are down for Dallas, but part of that is you do need to look at it on a line by line basis, and this team is the main one. Most of the time I'm the team is a team, but Dallas is very clearly under Golitzin, giving all the stars all they can handle. Literally their star players all they can handle. And Montreal is slightly above average, allowing, they're above zero in every statistic that I have here at 5-on-5. So if you watch that third period from Ottawa the other night, it's this is what this Dallas team is capable of. 16-6, I think were shots in that frame, and then they won in overtime. So I like this spot. Let's head over to Montreal though, because I think Montreal kind of did the thing again where they just didn't shoot against the Kings, which is obviously a concern. But we're seeing, again, same price tags on the Slafkovsky, Demidovs of the world that make it reasonable to stack around Cole Caulfield for 6,700. So do you have any prognosis on top line Montreal here?
I'm going to try to get away with it again and not play Montreal and hope they don't shoot again and they don't like to. And a matchup that I think the top line will be outmatched in. Like Dallas isn't at home. They can't dictate it too much, but how much can they get the top six out there against that top line? They're going to do everything in their power to do it. And I just think it's not going to be as good as, Robertson, Hintz, or Rantanen, Wyatt Johnston. So I'm going to be fading them. I'm not going to be worrying too much about it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I get playing Demidov. I get playing nope, that's about it. I really don't get anything else.
Oh boy. Demidov started the third of Suzuki Caulfield last game.
On second thought, I changed everything I just said.
Shit.
At the first sign of things aren't working out, holy shit, did Byfield get there? I didn't even realize he hit the post and had 5 or 6 shots on goal. I mean, take him off the top power play, but you can't. And he ended up getting top power play run a little bit. Oh, what a king!
I'm trying to.
Oh God, I just had the fucking guts to play LA like I said I was going to.
Slafkovsky played 12 minutes to Suzuki Caulfield's 8. Actually, Suzuki played 18. Caulfield.
Dobson took over the top power play. It looks like too.
That was a 5-on-3. Yeah, the 5-on-3 thing that I mentioned last week actually happened, where they replaced Slafkovsky with Dobson for 5-on-3, and they didn't score. No, they didn't score.
Yeah.
In any case,
I mean, is Bull Duke broken? Like that worked. What if they just put him up there? But I guess who would be net front? Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the problem. Slafkovsky does seem to fill a role for them that they don't really have elsewhere, unless you're going to go back to a Gallagher or Anderson type like years past. So yeah, they could have used a Chris Kreider, one might say. I don't know, but whatever. I think keep an eye on the Demidov thing. I would be kind of surprised if after one game, given the start their season's had, that they just play Demidov, Caulfield, Suzuki, and just say, "Yep, we're doing this." But they could. Marty St. Louis is certainly no stranger to good players. Talented players. So he might just want to play them all together. Boston at Ottawa. Boston,
Mm.
kind of, I mean, kind of the exact same thing from Tuesday. It's maybe a bit worse of a matchup here against Ottawa rather than against Toronto, but like they just refuse to price Arvidsson up to where he should be, so he's 4K again. His output is not quite David Pastrnak level, but like it's pretty close. And David Pastrnak's 9K, so like I don't know, seems pretty cool. Hampus Lindholm, frustratingly, had a smash night, and for 3,300 now, he's one of the better values on the entire slate with the way he's been shooting and blocking and actually picking up like primary assists and whatnot. Like he's just doing things that are good for fantasy. And Mason Lowry being on his power play unit means that the second unit isn't full of guys who suck. Only some of them do. Did we see the second unit? Was Minton on it? I think
It
that
was
a
Lowry,
projection.
Steves, Lindholm, Isamont, Kuzminidinov.
They really do not like Fraser Minton. They're just like, hey, Alex Steves off the street. Come on, let's go.
Come on, Michael Isamont, 10 minutes with power play 2. Why not? Yeah, it's the second line is just undeniably good. Again,
Yeah.
Are they going to keep getting away with it? I don't know. Is anyone even playing them? I don't know, but Matt did.
I played Arvidsson. I don't think he did he bonus. Let me check. I know he didn't get a point
a ton of shot attempts. Both of them did, and like Steve scored and Zaka scored on the power play. And
Arvidsson had 4 shots, and so he had 6 fantasy points when his line was like incredible. So that was a little annoying, but
so Lindholm and Trouba in cash. Nobody says no. We're all saying yes.
I mean, I almost played that yesterday, and I was like, well, I got to play Zellweger. I have 4 other Ducks, right? And of course, Zellweger did nothing.
You were just
Lindholm
had a whacking
18 for Hampus. There we go. My guy.
Now, on the Ottawa side, I did talk trash about Drake Batherson, and he did score, I think, 3 seconds into that game against Dallas. Like, I don't even think they dropped the puck, and he was already scoring a goal and celebrating. And I said, ooh, did I maybe fuck up here? And then he had like 5 shots on goal.
Yes, turns out Moods knows puck. The shot numbers mean nothing for him. He's just a good player. Who shoots. He's a good player who shoots. We know this. 5,800 now. So being priced up a little bit more than lastly, where I think he was like 55, but undeniably a good spot against Boston. I think it was Drew Stützle Batherson they wound up going with. Is that accurate?
Drew is on the top power play.
Oh, is that it? Okay. I know they replaced Nick Cousins on the top line.
It was,
or did they? I guess I should say.
Perron was on the top line with Stützle and Batherson.
Yes.
Amadio, Pinto, Giroux, Greg.
Yep. Okay.
Is it Greg or Greg? It's Greg.
I think it's really Greg. Yeah.
Really Greg. Cousins, Zetterlund, and then the top power play was Stützle, Batherson, Cousins, Giroux, and Sando. So I don't know if that makes
who lost a gig between Greg and Cousins?
Greg.
Okay. Roger that.
Greg down to the Jordan Spence power play. Congratulations to him.
Oh, because Shabbat's hurt. Yes.
So Zub Cleveland played 25 minutes.
Yeah, because left shot. They love the righty lefties. They love the righty lefties in Ottawa. So I wonder if that doesn't actually mean anything for Spence, or if they surpass that. Let me just see if there's any indication. Because if Jordan Spence is in the top 4, that's actually pretty important. All right. Optional skate today, so no word there.
Yeah, keep an eye on it. Obviously, he's going to. He sees ownership even when he's playing 16, 17 minutes. Like if he's playing 22 minutes in power play 2, I mean, he is one of the better great shooting defensemen that.
I'm just going to be intelligent because Travis Green hates fun and just put Tyler Clevin up on the second pair.
I mean, that's what's going to happen. But we can pretend for a minute that there's fun and goodness in this world. I mean, I'm not going to play Ottawa. I don't think it's going to come as too much of a surprise. Like, I think I just fade this game and move on with my night. But there's interesting notes here. If you're playing Ottawa, we've given you the news that you need to play them, but you don't have to. I mean, it is a 6.5 actually.
You sure don't.
Pretty big home favorite.
All right.
Boston is just
LA,
boring.
LA at Toronto. LA, they won, so Jim Hiller is the best. All of his decisions are infallible. Fogel, Turcotte, Perry wound up actually being the fourth line, but Kuzmenko got like benched, but he's on the top power play.
Just don't worry about anything Jim Hiller does ever. If you try, it's like trying to get into the mind of a psychopath. Just don't do it. You might get lost in there.
Yes.
It's a bad idea.
So I don't know.
We should remake the show Mindhunters on Netflix, but we're just going through Greg Cronin, Patrick Waugh, and Jim Hiller's brains and trying to figure out what the fuck they're watching. I have an idea.
So yeah, I don't know what to do. It seems like I really liked Corey Perry when he was not in a role that was like a ceiling of 12 minutes. Like I just don't see it with the fourth line really getting to anywhere. You know, obviously he can score, but like I just don't feel like that's enough. Like I want to at least have a shot at like, I don't know, 16 instead of just 10. So that's tough. His quote of Drew Doughty being the scorer on the second unit is that's a concern. Gotta say it. That concerns me. So kind of feels like can't be your bust for me, but it's tough because Toronto is reeling and they're almost certainly without Austin Matthews here. I'll check if that's confirmed.
Yeah, it's a -110 either way. It's a 5.5 -135, which feels like the book's just hedging the bet in case Matthews is actually good to go. I mean, we've seen players that we were 1000% certain we're not going to be ready for the next game, and there they trot onto the ice anyways. So keep an eye on all of this stuff, of course. But the LA Kings just feel it's like your favorite toy when you were a kid and you're getting older and you're like, maybe I should throw it out. And then you're like, no, let's try it one more time. And it just like it throws up or something. And you're like, no, I got to throw it out. Then you're like, I can't. I keep wanting to play them. I keep coming back to them. I talked about last Slate how much I like them. I didn't play them, of course, and they actually got there. But this team is just so frustrating. The decisions are nonsensical. Nothing matters. It's just dumb, and I hate them.
Okay,
Jim Hiller, you did this.
We know it.
But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to probably have them in my lineup, and I'm going to say, what the fuck happened?
I can see that happening, especially without Matthews. They rally around the crest. It's a full team effort here. We do not know what
I mean, in reality, like I love Detroit. I like Washington, okay, and I love Dallas. And I'm sitting here like you can't play everything. So I think that I'm, probably crossing this game off. I mean, if Matthews is in or out, I think I just cross it off and hope that others kind of glom to something that I just am not going to do.
Yeah. So let's just assume Tavares, Nyes, Nylander for right now. That line would be 20K. 35 expected fantasy points last 10, 40 actual. So they would be pretty good. Let's see if there's a power play. Oh, it'd be much. Looks like it was Max Domi getting first crack at top power play last game. So let's just throw Max Domi into the second line here and see what that looks like. That would make something like Robertson, Domi, McMahon 10K. Domi, I mean, all of these guys have actually been relatively decent. I guess if that line sticks, that would be interesting. I don't know what the lines will be, though, so do not quote me on that. It does feel like Max Domi is a clear beneficiary if Matthews is out, though. But the real question is anyone actually a beneficiary? Have we gone a little bit overboard in saying that Matthews is bad and thus, his injury doesn't matter? Because I'm sure people are like, oh, well, Mitch Marner's not here. That's why Toronto's bad. And that's why Matthews is bad. And it kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like, I still think Matthews is easily top 5 player in the league. Like, not even really a question. But yeah, I don't know. The role is there for Max Domi to step into specifically, and the production has been there for these other guys, Nyes, Tavares, Matthews, or Nylander, if you are not concerned with the absence of Matthews. So, last thing, any interest in Ekman Larson, 3,500? Looks like he remained power play 1 last game.
Yeah, I was trying to just also read if there's any extra tea leaves, and there are nothing on Matthews. It sounds like they're still very uncertain as of today, as a recording, and that they're not going to make any determinations until Thursday. I mean, it's completely altering for everything, but I mean, like, I wonder, what about Nicholas Robertson? I mean, there's no way he gets the power play one pump. They're going to put
I
Max
mean,
Domi in the Matthews spot. Like,
yeah, like we saw 1, 2, 3 power plays last game, and they were all Max Domi after Matthews was out. So,
why?
and
Like,
there was
but
some
again,
Michelli in there, but like, yeah, it could
what if
change.
Berube takes his head out of his ass and puts the best goal scorer in the spot where the best goal scorer is missing from now? Like, I don't understand these coaches. Like, put the guy who has the best opportunity to put the puck in the net on the power play. Like, other than Nylander, it's Nick Robertson. Like, I know he's not the best all around player, but like, it's nonsense. So
I
I don't know.
understand,
I'm gonna wait.
but also we're not playing woulda, coulda, shoulda. We're playing, what's going to happen here, and
Yeah,
does not seem
no,
like
I
that
know,
is
I
the
know.
realm of
At
possibility.
2,700, if Max Domi is playing 18 minutes and power play one, you have to consider it.
Okay.
Um, I honestly, I could see myself playing Nick Robertson with it if I did, but I think I might just X this game out and not let it hurt me when it's 2-1 and boring and sucks.
All right. Speaking of a 2-1 game that did not hurt you, Columbus is here. They take on Edmonton. Um, let's see. Edmonton plays on Wednesday. I don't know that these lines are up to date for what we're expecting here. But any initial thoughts on Edmonton, McDavid, Draisaitl, given the matchup and Columbus's ongoing illness situation?
yeah. Um,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Jack Roslovic has been unbelievable, and like, I very much understand why you are playing him with Leon and or McDavid. It makes perfect sense to me to probably this, if you're like stack it with Bouchard as well. Like, it is expensive, but McDavid, Draisaitl, Roslovic. I'm not playing Matt Savoy. It just there's so many good punts. You know, I just probably not going there. I mean, Columbus has also been, silently over the past. I don't know how quiet it's been actually. Uh, they've been playing very up tempo hockey, and they've been pushing pace. And they'll probably not want to push the pace against Edmonton, but on a back to back, maybe they do everything in their power to get their top guys up against pretty bad players and look if they can Miles Wood and Charlie Coyle their matchup against McDavid or whatever the fuck they're gonna do, and just it could turn into an absolute donkey show. I, I could be convinced of anything here. Can you convince me of anything on the Edmonton side?
Well, it would be nice to have confirmation on what their power play looks like in this spot. Because last game it was Trent Frederick. It was being projected as Matt Savoy, so I don't know if like Trent Frederick absolutely sucks. Like, there's absolutely no reason he should be touching the ice with these guys. But like, if it's someone like Savoy, you can at least construct a narrative that someone can complete a pass here to McDavid, and thus he can do McDavid things instead of having to build it from the ground up himself. Um, I think you're onto something with the defensive take. I honestly don't mind saving money off of Bouchard though to play Nurse or Woolman. At this point, like, Bouchard has been fine, but 6,700 is pretty expensive. I just think McDavid is just not going to be playing only with Bouchard anymore, given that pair has not been good. Ekholm looks kind of cooked at the moment,
Mm.
so I think we might see some differing like
You think
combinations here.
you think Jake Wallman can repeat his 34.3 from Tuesday or
Yeah, that frustrated me
was
because
it
obviously I was
Monday? Maybe
wrong.
Monday.
It was Monday because I was wrong
Yeah.
in the Discord. I was like, oh, he might get top power play billing, so play him on a flyer and just kind of see, if that transpires, because I think the field will be wrong, and they were. It was Frederick, not Savoy, but Woolman wound up smashing anyway. So I was a little salty that I didn't get there myself. But
It's really all about you, isn't it? Not
it
Jake
is. I
Wallman, who's
mean,
had a
well, you
very difficult career. He got traded for nothing by Detroit. I mean, a genius move by them, by the way, getting absolutely nothing for the guy who got traded for a first, like 2 seconds later. Um,
You're right.
Yeah.
All
You know,
right.
here's the thing. Here's the thing I'm going to say, and then we can move on. Okay. I'm going to say one more thing.
Please.
Draisaitl, McDavid, Roslovic in that game on Monday all had at least 22 minutes of ice time and more for McDavid and Dry. Like, do not kid yourself here. If you're going to do it, go all the way. Don't dip your toes in here. Like, don't just play McDavid. Don't just play Roslovic. Like, I think you'd be an idiot to do that. Like, just put your nuts on the table or stay at home.
All
Withdraw your funds. Withdraw
well,
the fucking entry.
hopefully, if you're on the podcast feed, you got to the YouTube stream where DJ, of course, put his nuts on the table on air.
They're out there.
The Columbus side, no idea what the illness situation will be here. So, damn cat found something that he was trying to eat. Voronkov, Fantilli, Marchenko, Monahan, Werenski. Obviously, Fantilli in place of Kent Johnson. They didn't do much against Seattle, so like it's hard to say, oh, run it back if Kent Johnson's good to go. We don't know if he's going to be good to go. But it did seem because they played a back-to-back and someone missed and came. Yeah, Cole Sillinger missed and came back, right? So it's not like they have literal hand, foot, and mouth running through the locker room where you're quarantined for a week.
Hey, what the fuck are these hockey players doing lately? Can they stop getting that disease? That's like Zucker, Kreider.
Yeah.
What's happening?
So it's probably more of a flu-like thing, in which case Kent Johnson would be back probably on the top power play and probably not Fantilli. Does it really matter, though? Because Fantilli is top line and Voronkov, Fantilli, Marchenko are 15.6K against the back-to-back Edmonton team. And I'm fairly certain they're going to use Jenner Monahan against top competition, meaning, there's not much else for Columbus to worry about on the Edmonton side of things.
And the rest of the competition is okay. Yeah, I like the spot a lot. I like in that game. They were on a back-to-back, as you mentioned. Werenski played 31 minutes. They go to overtime, but Fantilli played 23. Marchenko played 21. Monahan played 21. Voronkov played 18. Like, yes, there was an overtime period, and those guys got a little bit run. But you know who else comes over the board in overtime is fucking Miles Wood and Charlie Coyle. So it's not like it's all getting the power. All the overtime minutes go to these top guys. So yeah, I mean, this line is going to see. Yes, Boone Jenner did get hurt.
Yes,
and did not come back. And I don't know, but I would put him probably in a similar camp of keep an eye on it. But like,
I'm gonna guess he's out. But in any case, we don't know who fills that slot. Chinikov got a pretty decent role last game. For him, by his standards. He played 12 minutes, but he got second power play time. So like, that's an option. Miles Wood back in the lineup for them too. So I don't know. It's probably going to be something annoying like Wood, Monahan, Johnson, or something like that. But
that's they got to make a shutdown line out of somebody. So that's the way to do it. Chinikov's an option for a punt, but there's plenty of punt options.
Indeed. San Jose, Calgary. I don't want to talk about this game at all.
Perfect.
The
issue that we run into is it's a 6.5. Do you know what the odds are?
Calgary minus 160.
166. Wow, pretty good eye.
It's just, I know how the sports books think of these teams, and like, I certainly think Calgary's awful, but at home against San Jose, I wouldn't say like San Jose should be favored or anything. And I feel like people will play Macklin Celebrini. And it's 17.8K. That line's been fairly good. Will Smith, especially, has looked dynamic. Toffoli's more of just the Zach Hyman of this line, where he's going to be productive, but he's not going to look flashy doing it. And of course, Macklin, that shift he had against Minnesota was ridiculous in overtime. 2 minutes into his shift, gutting out making a perfect pass. Like it's all there. I just don't want to do it. Like, I don't trust the field to not slam this spot.
As someone who played Kaprizov, watching Macklin Celebrini just put my lineup to sleep, didn't feel it was already off the bed itself. But we could talk about Minnesota another time. I'm not going to do it at all. I have absolutely no interest. Like the team got better with Eklund. Like Eklund is a difference maker. He was with Lemberg and Kurashev. That is a line in the NHL that does exist. The top power play was Will Smith, Klingberg, Celebrini, Eklund, and Toffoli. So, that is a good power play. I'm an Eklund believer, but 5,400 is just a little too steep for me. I probably just fade out the San Jose Sharks and hope that others play Macklin Celebrini and he doesn't, continue to get away with it.
Great. Calgary side, do we have lines? I did not update this. I guess I did update this for Tuesday, but they lost again. So
they did lose. I was gonna say, didn't they tie the game? And no, they didn't even tie. They scored 2 goals in like 4 seconds, and then that was it.
Sharon Govich got up there with Kadri, but Zari also played up there. So
he got benched. He played 8 minutes, so
of course.
Yeah, I worry. Everything here feels well, I don't want to say it's like walking on eggshells. I feel like it's another term I'm trying to think of. It just feels real shaky. Like the ground is not solid under any spot on this team right now. I mean, there is Coronado was benched. Now Sharon Govich was benched. Really the only player is Kadri. Like that's probably the only player that just continues to get the run. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, now, just kind of looking at today, the power play they ran last game was Huberdeau, Frost, Coronado, Kadri, and Rasmus Anderson. Remember when we were saying it's Mackenzie Weegar? Nope. Rasmus Anderson. So, you open up a new opportunity for Rasmus Anderson. If that's the guy to play, he plays all the minutes. He certainly has rates. And he scored a goal. I mean, it wasn't anything insane. He just shot the puck on the point and went bar down for some reason. I don't really know what Binnington was doing there. He just decided not to save that one. But there are options. A full Frost correlated line, Rasmus Anderson, Coronado, never going to stop shooting the puck again. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, San Jose is just killing the pace in their games. They're doing a good job of it at 5-on-5. Like that, I gotta hand it to them. I don't think Calgary's going to be able to drive, this to be like a super exciting, fun game. So if the goalies don't show up, whatever. But I'm just not that interested in this spot. I don't think it warrants the 6.5 total whatsoever. So I'm good to get to the next spot because anyone who tuned into this podcast knows that I just don't want to play San Jose or Calgary. I just don't.
Yeah.
Buffalo at Colorado. We are expecting Buffalo on Wednesday night to go Tage, McLeod at Tuck, Greenway, Kozak, Doan, Roseanne, Osland, Quinn, Dunn, Krebs, Malenstein, whatever. Most important, last game, Bo Byron was top power play with Tage, Tuck, Doan, Quinn. So Tuck also top power play. Like it's the worst spot in the world on the road, back to back in the elevation against Colorado. Yes, without Val Nichushkin, so at least there's something. But Colorado's still a damn good team regardless. So I'm not very interested in the Sabres, but there are punts here if you want them.
Yeah, 2,800 revenge narrative, top power play, Bowen Byram.
Shit.
I mean,
damn it, you nailed it.
Here we are. I mean, next you're going to tell me it's his fucking birthday. I mean, what else could you possibly want to go 3 defenseman cash out with Jacob Trouba and Elias Lindholm, Elias Lindholm, Hampus Lindholm. I mean, we're just sitting here, just again spoon feeding the cash game nuts. I believe that will be the mantra. It's like, I mean, objectively a good spot for an objective good fantasy defenseman in the right role, which he has right now. The top line is like, you just can't click on Tage at 8,100 on this slate. I mean,
try me.
I don't know. I would love to. You could. You know what? I mean, you literally can click on him. Like DraftKings will let you do it, and he has the rates to back it up. But
anytime a guy's averaging like 9 shot attempts a game, you can click him. I promise you. That's okay. The problem gets to, like, are you dedicating several spots to Buffalo Sabres on a back-to-back? Like, yes, there's value here, but it's a tough needle to thread. I'm interested to see how the usage continues on Wednesday. They lost against Carolina, but they had a pretty good charge late. So if like we learn anything from the game against Utah, like there's value here, enough to make Tage, Doan, Byram or something at least semi-relevant. But yeah, let's get to the Colorado side because that's, of course, the primary spot of interest. Gavin Brindley moved up to the second line late last game with Nelson and Colton, so that's super cheap, 10.2K for guys who all should be on the second power play unit. And then, of course, Lehkonen, McKinnon, Nachos. Lehkonen gets the top power play almost certainly confirmed. Obviously, they could go to, Brock Nelson or whatever, but because they scored that goal and because of their history, we expect Lehkonen to be power play one with Makar and Olofsson. So 21.8K, Colorado top line. DJ, top stack of the night, question mark?
I don't know if you've heard of this, but Victor Olofsson revenge narrative. Boom. Boom. He shoots, he scores again. It's too easy.
The real narrative, though, was Stochastic Brothers figuring out that you cursed the Buffalo Sabres season. So
it's really quite frustrating that that's getting around because all I want to do is help my brothers in Buffalo and
you failed.
support the Stochastic Bros. And now I have to sit here and hate them and myself. I mean, what the fuck? I just hit like a fucking plus, like a 490 to 1 bet, and I have to sit here and cry myself to sleep. I don't like that.
Indeed.
You can absolutely play anything in Colorado and feel good about it. You mentioned the second line being a really good value. The top line is very expensive, but not unplayable expensive at all. Like you can afford it on this slate. There is a ton of value. I mean, is it a great strategy to play, 4 Colorado guys and then like a bunch of shit around it? But maybe on this slate, it could make sense.
Yeah, Tom Olson in the chat has a very, very clear issue with Colorado, though. Nate McKinnon only has 12 points in his last 3 games. Oh, that's not DraftKings points. That is actual real-life points. Dear God.
It's worrisome if you're a Buffalo Sabres fan that could continue against your
42,
team.
41, 25. His last 3 games, DK scoring-wise. Pretty good.
Have we considered stopping that?
Final.
He did play Buffalo once already this year and scored twice and 5 shots on goal. So they're actually doing better than the recent average.
Yeah, well, okay. Final 2 games, Winnipeg and Seattle. Talking about top tier lines, Connor Scheifele, Velarde, 21.5K. They are coming off of a win in Vancouver. Taze, Nemesnikov, Perfetti. That line is cheap, 11K. All with power play roles, Perfetti on the top power play. And Josh Morrissey stole the show against Vancouver. 6,800 though, pretty expensive. Gotta say, can't really bring myself to like this even as like a super leveraged spot. It looks fine on paper, but the spot's just not that interesting, especially now that they seem to have 3 usable lines. I just don't think the minutes will be as heavy on Connor Scheifele, Velarde as they were before with Lowry and now Perfetti back in the mix. I just think it's all kind of gross. So any spots here?
Seattle sucks. Winnipeg is good, but like this top line is just so is it more expensive? Is it more expensive than Colorado?
No, it's 300 cheaper.
300 cheaper. Yeah, I was gonna say that actually almost makes me think because man, nobody's gonna click on Winnipeg when Colorado is just the most obvious chalk of all time. And when I am counting my Skolansky bucks as McKinnon scores his second hat trick of the night, and Kyle Connor has 2 shots on goal in a 1-0 loss.
Oh yeah,
I will just be swimming in 2% on Winnipeg one, with nothing to show for it. Like it is one of the better leverage spots of the night, and it's not going to get there. And I'm just going to be so sad. Morrissey's been fantastic. Like very, 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 very involved offensively. Double bonus exists here with this guy. The shot volume hasn't been fantastic, but it's come up a good tick as of late. Like you could really very easily write the narrative of the point per game Josh Morrissey with, like I said, double bonus upside being a great play. Like you take Makar out, you put in Morrissey, you put in this top line, you build around this instead. And like I said, when it absolutely doesn't get there, I'll be in tears. Because I'm actually now thinking about playing it.
Yeah, I mean, Morrissey 30 bomb last slate. It's going to be very close to Nate McKinnon's 50 bomb, but not quite. Seattle, Their lines are not these for sure. Do you care? I don't care. Just
I
don't play
care.
Seattle in this matchup. Oh, god damn it.
I touted them last, like I did
Did you
do
not
that. I
learn
did
your
not.
lesson?
I learned it. I actually was very intently watching that game, and I just the whole time kept thinking to myself. And you know what the thing about it is, it felt like Seattle controlled the puck a lot and just never created any offense with it.
Well, except for Jordan Eberle, who was just out here dangling dudes and getting great looks and
Yeah,
all the fun stuff. And
Eberle did get a couple good looks in the mix. I will have to grant him that. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, just don't do it. Shane Wright, Tolvin, and Catton ended up being the nominal fourth line because the ground is not solid beneath anyone on this team either, it feels like. And every night it just can immediately evaporate. You never know what to expect, and nothing is constant other than one fact, and that's Chandler Stevenson's going to play 20 plus minutes with Jordan Eberle and Mason Marchment. So just don't do it. Don't pretend, don't believe in magic. Don't look at these two defensemen and say, ooh, but like, man, these guys are shooting it. No, just move on.
cool.
Go to the final game of the night and
Please.
another really, really good spot that I really like. And it's not the Islanders, but the Islanders are fine.
Islanders at Vegas. I know Islanders have new lines, so we'll pull those up. I'm not finding them quickly, but here we go. Mayfield, his wife had a kid, so Schaefer, Polak, Pellick, D'Angelo, and Romanov, Boqvist. Matthew Schaefer with Polak is fairly interesting. Obviously, top power play billing there. And then what do we have for top line? Are you seeing anything? Okay, here we go. Heineman, Horvat, Palmieri, Druin, Barzal, Holmstrom, and Lee, Pajot, Duclair, Zizekas with Richie and Siplikov. I'm not going to do this right now, but just note what's on the screen is not correct. So rewind if you need the lines.
Here's what you do. You look at the Islanders and you say, okay, oh, they play Vegas. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I'll be moving on. I mean, the worst part about this Islanders team is even if you say, you know what, I don't fucking care. Bo Horvat, Matt Barzal, these are great players, and they're both centers. Like,
yeah,
I mean, you could still build a line. Like, I get it, but like, it just makes things so much more difficult when they're both centers on the daily fantasy slate. No, thank you. Thank you, sir. I am full. They're not even on the same lines. So I guess it doesn't really fucking matter. But like,
correct.
Just
that is what
who cares? I'm not playing it.
Yep.
You can't make me.
Yep. 13.6K second line, 15.3K top line. No, thank you. I'm just not interested. All right, Vegas. Final team to look into because I did not. William Karlsson got hurt. Is he okay? Is he?
No idea. They played when they played Florida.
All right. William Karlsson is not on the ice. So if they practice today, we don't get lines from Vegas because I guess they don't have beat writers, even though they're one of the best teams in the league because cool. So that's annoying, but
I mean the top six was the same, and it was Colasar with Howden and Smith.
Cool. Great.
Power play was Eichel, Dorify. I don't know if they practice differently, but Hannafin basically came over the boards at some point for I think it was Theodore.
And that was like a mid shift change, I believe, and not like
all of this to say is they really don't have a second power play unit. Eichel, Marner, Hurdle, Dorofeyev, and Theodore or Hannafin. Yep. Like Hannafin is your next unbelievably good punt defenseman of the slate. There's 7 of them to pick from. So that probably means no one's going to play any of these upper tier defensemen. But
honestly, because we didn't see it happen last game, and because like in the 6-on-5, Shea Theodore is the only defenseman on the ice, I'm not playing into like a fringe outcome of Hannafin getting power play 1 run. Like I think if we were going to see it, we would have seen it last game, given they were really struggling against Florida.
He's 100 cheaper than Trouba. Like you couldn't click on Noah Hannafin.
I mean, I think I know who Noah Hannafin is, and I know who Jacob Trouba is, and Noah Hannafin's just so much less likely to get like that double bonus, the blocks bonus type deal. I mean, I just trust Anaheim structurally more. Like, Hannafin's not going to play with Jack Eichel. Like we know that. Like 5-on-5 power, like it's just not going to happen. So I prefer to get Shea Theodore or just go Jake Chuba. Like that's really
I
what
mean, I
I
I
do.
will second the notion that if you're playing Hurdle Dorofaev, Hannafin makes a lot more sense, and if you're playing Eichel and Marner, Theodore makes a lot more sense. Like
Sure.
that is the very, very clear at home situation that that these are going out there together with. But I don't know if I totally hold the sentiment that Noah Hannafin isn't just as likely to double bonus as Jacob
Okay.
Trouba. Like Jacob Trouba is more
Enjoy.
likely to box bonus, but Hannafin's shooting a ton right now, like
Yeah,
more
because
than
he's played
Trouba.
like 3 games. Like I get it. I get it. But like it the fringe outcome of him taking
All
power
right.
play was just not there. So
Do you want to
I
bet me
don't think they're right.
$20 that Hannafin doesn't outscore Trouba tomorrow?
Yes, I will bet booked $20
$20.
Truba versus Hannafin. All
Handshake
right.
agreement.
Let's do top stacks guaranteed goals and close it down. I will take top stack Eichel, Marner, Theodore based on that.
Yep.
I like them anyway. I didn't really talk much about
Yes.
it, but um, yeah, I think the matchup with the Islanders will be a fun one. Um, Eichel, Marner, they haven't really clicked. I found something very curious in looking in, I think, Monday. Like Eichel, Marner have been on the ice for like 7 goals in 50 minutes or something like that. And in, I think, 20 minutes without Shea Theodore, they scored all 7 of them. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that changed on Monday. It certainly could have because I think Theodore assisted a Barbashev goal, but um, I just found that really funny and one of those like random things. But all the power play stuff makes perfect sense. No Scott Mayfield for the Islanders would even improve the power play outlook there. And with no William Karlsson, Jack Eichel gets even more sort of role plopped onto his plate.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with way back to the beginning and go with Wyatt Johnston, Mikko Rantanen, and Jason Robertson, and spend all of my cap on Dallas 1.5. I'm gonna call them.
Dallas 1.5. That's fun.
And you know what? Throw in Sam Steele. Throw him in there.
God,
Let's get cheeky.
incredible. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right. Let's oh boy. There's a few, I guess, that we talked about. Um I'm gonna go with I mean, did I do Boston last time? Zaka Arvidsson, Lindholm? I think I did that, but
You did, but that's fine.
all right.
Do it.
All right. Let's go to the other side of that game then. Stützle, Batherson, Sanderson. No Chabot. Sanderson getting all the minutes he can handle. So let's try them again. Because the bath bomb is here and he's here to stay. On
You know what I
pace
just
for
realized?
100 points.
I just realized that Jackson Lacombe is now cheaper than Jacob Trouba, and I've said, hell yeah.
Lock him in.
Lock it. No, my second stack will also be a road team. In a matchup that people probably won't want to play, and I'm going to go with that. McMichael, Tom Wilson, Alexi Protas. I mean, it just makes kind of too much sense to me not to sprinkle that in there. Like it went way up in price. It's come way down in price. But one thing's the same, and that line is going to see a ton of run. There's a ton of cheap defensemen that you could put into this build that I've put together. Take out Sam Steele, put in Protas, or put in Sam, however you want to do it. And I actually built a lineup that works. But yeah, like take advantage of Florida depth. It's bad. And one good game against Vegas isn't going to deter me from going back to it. Now, last slate, we had 4 guaranteed goals and only one of them scored. Now, Terry Lehkonen about 4 seconds in. So tonight, we look to rebound. We look to make something great happen. Matt, do you want to get started by making something great happen?
Yeah, something great will happen on Thursday night here. I am going to take Lucas Raymond, guaranteed goal. 6,400, that top power play. Obviously, going to split power plays is a bit wonky, but I will just point out that on the season, DeBrincat and Larkin take 60% of that top unit's top power, the power play shots. So DeBrincat vacating that 30%, I think Raymond shoots a bit more. Getting DeBrincat at 5-on-5, I think that line's going to be super high powered. And Raymond's a bit cheaper than his line mates. So I like him to sort of make good on his expected fantasy points. He's at 11 in his last 10 with only 8.8 actuals. So I think Raymond, guaranteed goal against Anaheim, is my first take.
I like that a lot, honestly. I think that's pretty sharp. I'm kind of 50-50, but I think I'm going to check the prices quickly and probably side with let's look. Let's look. Hold on. I want to see who I can get with either price. If you have your second guy, I don't think I'm anywhere near you, so you can just go. I just want to see what the price difference
All right.
is.
I'm gonna chase the narrative. I have 4,600 left. Victor Olofsson. Not the narrative you're thinking of, not revenge, but the narrative of DJ Curse to save her season. Victor Olofsson, guaranteed goal.
Fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, he's done it again. He's built the perfect situation. All right, I will go Dorofeyev Fantilli.
Cool. I dig that.
That makes sense to me. I mean, it's not exactly in your stack. I was between basically Voronkov and Cutter or someone of that ilk, and Fantilli, and I was like, if Veronkov's been super unlucky and in tight and does all that kind of stuff, and against the back-to-back Edmonton team, I kind of like that angle a little bit, but Fantilli's just kind of on another planet. I don't think the odds are really going to adjust all that much again this matchup. So Fantilli, Dorofeyev, Raymond, and VO Victor Olofsson. Those are four guys that are actually goal scorers and may do it for the kids.
All right. That'll do it from us for this Thursday slate. If you are around on Friday, I plan to preview the days of action over my newsletter. There's a 3-game main slate at 7 o'clock. There's also a 2 o'clock Pittsburgh, Nashville, Sweden game. Because I'll be doing it Thursday night, I might as well just write that game up too, because I'm going to play Showdown. So there probably won't be good contests for it. But if you're interested, I will preview that over on my newsletter, moods.beehive.com. And of course, follow me at Fake Moods on Twitter. DJ, please plug your stuff because you are a winner for the first time in ever.
You are a winner. Yeah, plug it. I mean, yeah, Dub Club. I'm going to learn a little bit more about Tails again. I think there was a setting that wasn't turned on for me that's now on for me, so I can like do more things now. So I'm going to go back to the well. I don't think it was just pure incompetence, as I originally stated. It was truly just not having access to the things I needed. Regardless, either source is free. I did have to set a subscription on Tails, and I think I made it like $100,000 a day because that was the most I could do. So if you want to pay me $100,000 a day, you can do that.
Let's go. All right.
I'm pretty sure that's what I said it has, just so no one would do it. And I'm not even posting anything in there. It said like you have to do a subscription. Yeah. I was like, all right. Well, here you go. I mean,
so go do that.
Your credit card company will stop you. I'm sure they'll say this is not allowed.
All right. Thank you all for listening. Got to get out of here. From Doug, from DJ, from myself, have a good Thursday slate, everybody, and we will see you.
You're saying they're looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.